So I'm in the Lachine Sports Complex parking lot signing a contract to play for the Montreal Alouettes. It's a dream come true. 2 years before that, I was with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, so playing pro football is cool, but playing for your hometown team, now that's a dream come true. Plus, led by Anthony Calvillo, the Montreal Alouettes were coming off a Grey Cup championship against their rivals, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the previous year. So this year was all about back-to-back championships, and I was right in the middle of it. Enthusiastic, excited, I begin to increase the intensity of my training. I'm prepping myself for this season, and I feel that it's gonna be great. I'm on track, I'm doing my training. One of my friends says, it's my birthday, let's go out, have a few drinks. I'm saying, you know what? I've been working so hard all off season. Sure. I go out, have a few drinks with one of my friends. It's March 11th. I remember it like it was yesterday. I wake up the following day late for practice. And one thing in pro sports, you're never late for practice. I grab my bags and I run to the metro station. And as most of you do in Montreal, when you hear the metro coming, what do? You run for it. I started to bolt with my bag. I'm running for the metro station. The metro arrives. As the passengers are coming up the stairs, I jump. I land and my foot blows up. I untie my shoelace and I see my foot looking like the size of a football. My foot shatters and my dreams shatter. I go to see the physiotherapists. They tell me it's a Lisfranc injury. It's career-ending and requires surgery. I decided I have worked way too hard to go down like this, not running for a metro station. And if I tell the Montreal Alouettes, they're gonna cut me because I'm injured. That's just the life of a professional athlete. So I escape to Ottawa. One of my friends, Victor Tadundo, we're in the track and field community. We know the best physiotherapists. I go see them. They say, you have a Lisfranc injury. You're not going to be ready. You have 11 weeks before training camp. You're screwed. I said, we're going to go to the pool. We're going to get all the physiotherapy needed. I cannot have this on my legacy. Imagine being here today telling you, I almost won a Grey Cup championship, but I broke my foot. In the metro of all places. So I'm at my friend's house, laying in bed, and I wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats. The pressure, the heat, and the trauma of what's about to happen to me to lose a Grey Cup championship for breaking my foot is coming down on me. The heat gets so intense and it gets so hard to breathe that I have an epiphany. I felt this before. I felt this before around the age of 9. While I was born in Montreal, my parents moved to West Virginia to a temple, an ashram, a spiritual school, hence the name Balarama. It's a Hindu temple. From the age of 4 to about 10, I would be meditating every single day. We learned inner calm, we learned inner strength, we learned poise and mental fortitude. And we looked up to the gurus, we looked up to the swamis, to the elders. And they would always go into this kind of weird green hut next to this sacred lake with hot rocks in the middle and throw herbs on it. And they would all go in there and they'd come out and steam would come out. And I would always, I want to do that. They said, no, you're too small, you're too little, you can't do this. I said, my name's Balarama. It means omnipotent power, so I'm strong enough to go in there. They kind of chuckled about it and they said, you know what? Around the age of 9, they said, we will allow you to go into the sweat lodge. me being very ambitious and eager, I run in first. So I'm at the back. They follow suit. And suddenly, the door closes, the mat. It's pitch black in there. I can smell some light herbs, but it's not too hot. I got this. Suddenly, they take a bowl of water and splash it on the hot rocks. A minute, okay, it's hot, it's doable. By 3 minutes, I'm saying, what did I get myself into? By 5 minutes, now it's getting really hot. Another splash of water, more herb, the steam engulfs my lungs, and at that very moment, a jolt of lightning shot through me, and I panicked for a split second. As soon as I panicked, I reverted back to everything I learned every single morning, which was to breathe, to be calm, and to relax. I was inhaling the confidence and exhaling the fear, exhaling the panic, and exhaling all the negative energy. And that night, at my friend's house, sleeping on his couch, recalling that it was not going to be the physiotherapy that was going to help me, it was going to be the inner strengths that I learned as a young boy in the ashram. That is how I was going to survive this dilemma. So as the physiotherapy continued, the weeks went by. We're at 5 weeks. We're at 4 weeks. The swelling is decreased, but I still can't run. 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Now it's time to test my foot. Ma mère habite au plateau. So I went to my mom's house. I tied on my favorite pair of shoes. I laced them up and I said, Mom, I'm going to be back. I'm going to go test my foot. Je vais dans une ruelle. I start. I can survive this. I got this. I go back home with a big smile. I said, Mom, she's like, I knew you were going to get it. She knew it. My doubts and my fears faded. I got to training camp, and I was recruited as being the fastest guy on the team because that's how they got me. And they got me and said, what is wrong? What happened to you? But I did enough to survive training camp. The Montreal Alouettes, led by Anthony Calvillo, once again were victorious during the Grey Cup. And I rush onto the field. And here we have a Grey Cup championship ring from 2010. And as everyone's raising the Grey Cup, for me, it was never about the Grey Cup. It was never about football. This was about being able to control my inner strength, being able to be poised, being able to have the mental fortitude and the resilience to overcome obstacles. After the Grey Cup, I realized that if I could just tap back into those lessons I learned in the ashram as a young boy, anything was possible. So I became fearless. I applied to McGill Law. Nobody gets into McGill Law where I'm from. My father was on welfare for the majority of his life, lived in social housing. My twin brother and I lived there. We went to a rundown high school. People in my neighborhood don't go to these schools. I applied, analyzed every letter, and got in. Then when I figured out that our executive committee and City Hall was too homogenous for my liking, I said, I'm going to get 20,000 signatures and show them they should be more inclusive. And no one believed we were going to get the 20,000 signatures. But I knew, because I had to tap back into those same values and the same visions that I had as a young boy. And I knew that anything I set my mind to, anything that we set our minds to, can be accomplished. Thank you.